Hello and welcome back to Not Another Football Podcast. I'm Luke, this is Solly. It's a podcast where a Liverpool fan and a Chelsea fan come together each week to discuss the Premier League. And this week, my friend, 20 times Premier League champions and fans were there. What you got to say? Biggest club in England now, without a doubt?
Great, put me on the spot straight away with a question I don't want to answer.
An answer? It's true now.
Here we go. Isn't it equal?
League titles, it's equal. It's 20. Yeah, 20 apiece, but we've obviously got 6 European Cups, 10 League Cups and 8 FA Cups. So, and we got like, what is it totally? I think it's 47 major trophies to their 44. So, 3 more joint league titles and more European Cups.
Well, the one thing I will say is that I think you've got half a damn chance of getting the next title ahead of them before they catch you up on that.
Yeah, it's looking pretty good, I must admit. Yeah. And you don't fancy a Guard of Honour?
No, I'll let the Chelsea players do that on next game.
Mate, I honestly, buzzing. Can't believe we've actually done it. Finally, Luke predicts can give Liverpool 100%.
Yeah.
After everything that's happened and the way the season's played out. And I must admit, I'm very grateful. It was Arsenal chasing us for a change, as every other Liverpool fan knows the pain.
Can you call it a chase?
Well, they applied a little bit of pressure. Hey, mate, it's just hilarious looking at some of the old tweets and stuff like that, seeing that they were like, "Oh, we'll see in May." I'd rather be 7 points behind Liverpool than what was it? 7 points behind Liverpool than a point ahead of City or something stupid like that. Yeah. We'll see in May. Well, it's April, lads, and we've won the league, so. But then again, online fans, it's a bit of a cesspit out there. But I must admit, obviously losing the title to City by a point a couple of times, and then being able to actually just win it in a nice way without anything getting in the way, like COVID, a worldwide pandemic that shut everything down. So yeah, it's very nice. And obviously, I'm guessing you didn't see the scenes. You probably did. You take a look?
I switched over very quickly.
Yeah, I thought you might. Yeah. I mean, fair play though. No one predicted that we'd win it. At the start of the season,
it was you. You gave yourself about a 12% chance when you were clear by 7 points.
7 points. Hey, I wasn't getting too carried away. No, I said at the start of the season, I think like every other Liverpool fan, Slot coming in, if we get Champions League football, we'll be happy because it gives them foundations to build off. I mean, this is incredible that we've gone and won it. But it kind of played out in a way similar to last season when I was speaking to friends last season. Obviously, ended up being Klopp's last season, which I didn't know at the time. But I said, we're a momentum team. Like, if we start well and build some momentum, then we can actually win the league. Now, I didn't think of that this season because I just thought, obviously, with Slot, a lot going on. But we've essentially done that. We started well. Everyone kept saying, "Oh, you haven't played anyone yet. Yeah, guys, we played 26 games and we're like 12 points clear. I haven't played anyone yet, no." And even like the Arsenal fans saying, "Oh, if we had Saka," well, Liverpool have had injuries as well, but they were saying Saka. I think we were 8 or 9 points clear when they did have Saka. So I just think
you've had some killer injuries in years gone by, as every team,
Yeah.
Susceptible to injuries. Like, give it a rest. Arsenal, and at least you stop them winning it. At least that's something. I just need.
Yeah. You can agree with me on that.
Other teams in the Champions League to help us out on that front as well.
Yeah, exactly. I must admit though, it's like to be fair, the injuries, we have had injuries as well. Alisson's been out for a few months. We've had Trent out for a few months. Konate's been out. Jota's been out. So these players who have been out, but the difference is because we haven't dropped points. That's the difference. We didn't drop points even when they were out. So then obviously people then don't use it as a reasoning.
Yeah.
That's the difference. We ended up managing to cope better with the injuries that we did have, because every team gets injuries. So it's just one of those things. And they shot themselves in the foot, let's be honest. They didn't sign a striker. They thought Kai Havertz was going to lead them to glory. It was never going to happen.
No. Can testify to that. Never going to happen.
Yeah. So
where does it rank for you? You've obviously seen, not that you were there, Istanbul. You've seen you win the Champions League. You've seen you win the league title for the first time in however many years. Was it 30 years? And now you've seen this in person. Where does it rank among those 4 moments? Of course, you've got the League Cups. Many League Cups in between. Many successes in penalties over Chelsea during that period. But where does this rank?
Chuck in a couple of FA Cups as well. Yeah, I mean, I would say it's probably number 1, right? Well, the thing is, it's number 1 because of the fan element, and obviously being there, fans being able to celebrate, actual celebrations going on the pitch, a whole stadium with atmosphere, everyone loving the moment, obviously outside Anfield as well, partying in the city. Whereas COVID didn't have that, but you still had the element. I mean, what was it? It was something ridiculous. Like we'd won 24 games out of 26 when the season decided to stop. Yeah. We essentially, I think we were what were we, 18 points clear? Something ridiculous like that. It was something ridiculous, yeah. Because we'd won 24 at 26, so no team was really keeping up pace with that. And then, so we were like, we're going to win it. But then COVID takes away from it a little bit, but it's still the first in 30 years. So it's probably between those two. In terms of overall, I give this league title the edge. In terms of drama, you got to give Istanbul, obviously. Yeah. In terms of drama. But, winning the league, you're lucky enough.
I can see it all over your face.
I know.
I can see it all over your face.
I know. It's about time, though, isn't it? I want my time. I mean, Jurgen, he deserves all the credit, really. Well, obviously Slot, but Jurgen deserves the credit, I mean, for essentially becoming the modern-day Shankly in the sense of, if you look at the state we were in when he took over from Brendan in, was it 2016? We were terrible, mate. Like, the team was just in bits. We'd obviously, this was a couple of seasons after the title charge with the whole Gerrard incident, and then him aging, leaving, the team just not really having much investment in, but also not real many players that you looked at and thought, oh, they'll take us to a title. I think we finished 7th or 8th that season. So then Klopp to come in and actually turn the club around completely and actually make us challengers in itself was crazy. But he's just left the foundations there, and Slot's come in and done the right thing. I mean, how many managers go in new and go like, yeah, this was brilliant what the predecessor did, but I'm going to put my own stamp on it. So I'm going to completely rip this up and we're going to be doing this and that. And then it doesn't work. And it might work in, future years and stuff like that. But he had a team there that can win now. And he went in and he went, look, I'll make tweaks. Probably had to win him over early on, I would assume. I can't imagine Salah and Trent and that. Maybe Van Dijk would have known him from his time in Holland a little bit. But that, it's still a relatively unknown from a smaller league. So they would have had that apprehension. So he wins them over and then he just makes subtle tweaks, and he's changed our team from being all gung-ho and out, full throttle, essentially, to a bit more control, but having the element of full throttle when we need it. And it's been absolutely perfect. I mean, how do you rank his first season?
Yeah, I mean, like you say, I think he used the word perfect there. That's the exact one I would say to it. He's managed you perfectly. I mean, he's identified your weak points in recent years, albeit there's not been many of those, and he's addressed them, superbly. And I like the way that, okay, you haven't come under masses of pressure from other teams, but when you have had little dips in, I mean, you can hardly even call them dips in form, really, but he's been able to do the most difficult element, which is tweak and optimize when, you have been beaten. You think about that Forest game and you just thought, okay, you've seen it so many times with Premier League managers, or at least I have at Chelsea, where they might win the first 10 or 12 games in situ, and then a team beats you, and then because the Premier League's so relentless, the next manager will identify and adapt and beat you again. But he's been able to overcome that killer problem, which you see so many times from from all sorts of managers coming into top jobs. So, yeah, I mean, it's been pretty much perfection, hasn't it? It's not far from that.
I just want to touch
and
dead
then-
quickly on the,
Yeah.
you said the Forest thing. That's a perfect example because it was after an international break. We lost. We looked really sluggish. And then after the next few international breaks, he was like, right, I can't play, for example, all the South Americans. I need to have a bit more rotation because I obviously traveled a lot more. And I think he realized, like, because again, like you said, it's so relentless that you need to rotate a bit more. You need to actually, especially when they're traveling so far. So that was a great example of him adapting and learning quickly about the league rather than making the same mistake a couple more times before finally switching onto it.
Yeah. And I think that releases you. You've never really been in trouble as a result of that. You may have been if, let's say, I think there was almost that turning point moment, wasn't there, where the Brentford game where you came back to win it and Arsenal threw away a 2-goal lead, was it against Aston Villa?
Mm-hmm.
I think it
at
was.
home.
I think, at home. And then I think they could have been within 3 of you, but you ended up being 8 or 9. I can't remember exactly the points differential between the two, but yeah, I think ever since that moment you've been in cruise control, and to keep the standards so high is, I think, what I've found so impressive watching you guys.
100%. And then you look at, like you touched on, the pivotal moments in the season when we actually do drop points, because it was draws, not obviously losses, because we only lost twice. It was draws, but like you said, Arsenal dropped points. It seemed like every time we drop points, they drop points. So they never actually applied that pressure.
No.
Yeah. So even just to make you think, like, if we draw again, they're going to win. There wasn't even that pressure. It was just like, oh, well, they'll probably drop points, actually, looking at the fixture list.
Well, that's the thing of the next test, isn't it? Looking ahead, is that's what it will be. I'm sure you want to savor the moment a bit more than this, but you've got 4 more games to do that. But that will be the next test when Manchester City come inevitably strong again next season. We'll see what we'll do. I mean, I watched them in the game yesterday, and albeit not in the second half, but they felt very much in the first half like there was that City press, that domination that was coming back, where they just swarmed you and you couldn't get out, and there was that domination of pressure. So pressure in terms of possession. So I think they will come strong for you again next season, and it will really, I think, test a little bit further of Slot. But what an amazing start!
Yeah, unreal. Couldn't ask for anything more. City definitely will come back because they got the best manager in the world, and they're also going to be, he's going to be backed again in the summer. So yeah, they're going to be there again, and they'll probably be as relentless as ever. So it'll be a different test for Slot. Obviously, I mean, this season people can say like, oh, City dropped off, that's why it's easy. Mate, winning the league. No one cares how you did it in the end, as long as you do it. That's all that matters. And especially with the record books, when you look back, and as you know, as a fan, so many people like, oh, no one cares. I don't care that you don't care. I care.
You've lost 2 games.
I know.
Still could finish on what, 91 points? Is it? I don't know how many it is.
I think it's 94 if we win every game, which we're not going to. We're not going to do that. Yeah.
No.
I just don't see us winning every game, but I'm not arsed either. But to be fair, Slot coming in as well, like he improved Trent defensively. I think before the rumours really started coming out that, okay, it actually looks like Trent's not staying. I feel like since then, Trent's actually dropped off a bit and kind of reverted back to his old ways of sometimes not looking that arsed, especially defensively. But before that, I think Slot was really getting something out of him, and also
agreed.
Bringing in someone like Gravenberch and saying, you know what, you're going to be the holder, the 6. Like, obviously, that's not what Klopp had seen for him, who was playing in further advance and not at all, really. So even these little tweaks, especially when we didn't get Zubamendi, and then it was kind of like, well, you have to do something with the squad you've got. We only signed Chiesa. So it makes it even more impressive because he's hardly used Chiesa, like, at all. So, to come in and do that, unbelievable, props to him. So glad he did, obviously. And here's a little quiz question for you. So I think he becomes the 5th manager to win the Premier League in his first season. Can you name the other 4
Yeah, I can, because the three of them are Chelsea
I know.
managers.
Yeah, I know. The ruthless Abramovich era, which brought success.
Yeah, many Premier League successes. So it was. I can name them in descending order if you would like to put a twist on it. So Conte was the last, I believe, and it was Pellegrini.
Mm-hmm.
Is it
Correct.
Pellegrini? That's how you pronounce
Yeah.
it. And then it was Ancelotti,
Yep.
and of course before that, the special one,
Jose.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. What is he?
Oh, he's not dead, but he's dead to me. He's dead to me now.
No longer the special one since the whole Spurs thing. Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Oh.
United as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. How could I forget? But yeah, there you go. I knew it was a bit of a softball question for you, to be fair. But yeah. And also, I'm very glad we also had Spurs, the team that we had to beat to win it, because they look so bad and like they'd rather be anywhere else, to be fair. I know they got a big Europa League game coming, but what an atrocious season. Hey, at least Ange is a Liverpool fan.
He was delighted.
Yeah,
He's in the cup.
So get him, mate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, there we go. And yeah, just confirmation, you did confirm that Liverpool now the biggest club in England, right?
I think I declined to comment, but yeah,
biggest club in England and biggest club in the UK.
Speak for themselves. All right, yeah, I'll give you that one.
Yeah, thanks. And I'm throwing in UK. I know not major honours because
oh gosh,
Celtic and Rangers, bloody Walker League playing against God knows what. Be careful.
Disclaiming before it goes wild again.
I know.
I've got surveillance out, man. I'll send my flat after the last one.
I know, they're always after you. But yeah, so yeah, we'll leave it on there. Biggest club in the country across the land. So
just one final thing on Liverpool. So obviously it's a bit of a strange one in the sense that you'll end the season obviously from a position of great strength, but you'll still need to sign centre half,
left back,
right back,
left
back, and a centre forward.
Yep.
Arguably, as a minimum, and you spoke about Endo leaving as well.
I don't want him to, but I think he will. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's arguably 4 starters. Maybe the backup to Konate will only be for the other centre half will be a backup to Konate for a year. But yeah, you're talking about 4 starting players or 3 starting players and 2 bench players.
Yeah.
Good job.
100%. A left back, definitely starting left back. Centre back will be, as you said, a squad player, so probably a younger guy who could look to learn off the likes of Van Dijk whilst he's still there, provide adequate cover to him and Konate. Right back, interesting dilemma. Don't know if Bradley steps in to become the number 1. Had injury issues, that's his main problem. He's a really good player, but can he play a whole season? And it's a mentality switch. You're the starting right back now. When he knows Trent's the starting right back. So, yeah. But if Trent goes, can Bradley make the step up? I think he can, as long as he stays injury-free. So we'd have to still sign a right back. It just depends if you sign in a starter or a backup, essentially. Squad player. We need another 6. Again, with the way Gravenberch has played this season, because it's only the 1 season, I still think there's semi-question marks that you could go out there and still buy a starter who could theoretically improve that position. So that could be an either or. Striker, 100% starter. Sorry, Darwin. I defended him for a long time, but I think his time's up. So yeah, that's definitely a starter. And then I also think, if the rumours are believed, Nunes leaves, Diaz leaves, apparently.
Diaz leaves?
Yeah, because he's 28. So they're talking about cashing in on him, essentially. So they'd have to sign... What, sorry?
But to where? Where would they cash in?
Well, he's linked with Barcelona, the club who never pay. And he's linked with...
exactly.
Yeah, and he's linked with Saudi Arabia. So who knows? But then you've got the Chiesa thing. He's probably going to leave. I mean, you'd assume he'd want to leave. So then all of a sudden you're quite light in that forward position. So you'd probably have to bring in an extra body. So all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's actually it's quite a interesting season. Interesting transfer window, off season, if you want to call it that. But
Interesting.
one thing
Yeah.
I should mention as well, just before we do move on to Chelsea. I mean, how can I not mention it? The season Salah had, basically, from a forward point of view, just dragging us to the title, and even more so after that tweet he put out end of last season. It was like, yeah, we know as a club we deserve more. It's a classic. It's classic. But then for a guy to actually go and drop one of the best seasons of all time, actually drag you. I think he's a goal or assist off the joint best ever. I think he's on 46 and the best is 47, which I think is Shearer and Henry. Might be wrong with one of them. So he needs 2 more to break it, 1 more to equal it. I
think he might get that.
I think he might. He might do it against you.
Yeah, hopefully not against us.
Poetry. But yeah, I mean, come on. Phenomenal, unreal. And he's signed, so even better.
Yeah. Right. Well, should we move on to us? Salah, nice segue into Chelsea.
Go on, mate.
Segue away from Chelsea as he did from us. Yeah, where would you like me to start?
Well, you got a win, so you must be happy with that. I mean...
Back-to-back wins. I haven't been able to say that in a very, very long time.
Where's that leave you? Because I haven't looked below first this weekend. Was it 5th? 5th or 6th?
It's 5th, yeah. So we're 1 point behind Manchester City, 2 points behind Newcastle, with both of those teams played the same amount of games. And then Forest are behind us on the same points, but a game in hand. Their fixtures are kind to them. Same with City and the same with Newcastle. So we've fundamentally got to beat, well, I would suggest we've got to beat Newcastle and Forest and United, and then maybe take a draw against you. So still we've got an incredible amount of work to stay in those positions.
Geez, us is a bit different now, like we've touched on, but still a difficult game, obviously. But then you've got Forest and Newcastle as well. Wow. That's...
Yeah. It's a blessing and a curse, isn't it? Because it's within your hands to be able to beat those teams, but obviously they're going to be.
You're away to Newcastle, right?
Tough games. Sorry?
Away to Newcastle. Yeah. Are you at home to Forest?
Yeah, home to Forest, but away to Newcastle, where we've got an absolutely awful record. So yeah, not looking forward to that one at all. I mean, Everton were pretty shocking to say the least. So I'm not taking great confidence from that, and we still nearly threw it away. If it wasn't for Sanchez, we probably wouldn't have got
your favourite man.
The 3 points. Yeah, he played very, very well, made some great saves towards the end. In fairness to him, kept us in the game. Just shy of goals, like we have been so many times of late. Jackson, I don't know if you saw his goal. It was quite a tidy finish, just a bit of a snapshot from the edge of the box when he didn't have to think about it. But then
I didn't see it. Do you think he'll be important in this running for you? Yeah. Feels like the only guy who scores.
The only guy who scores. He's only scored. That's his first goal in.
Yeah, but since he's been out, you've been playing Neto through the middle. How many's he scored? That's what I mean. Like, it feels like, and it kind of coincided with Palmer's drop off. I feel like he didn't have that natural striker. Even if he wasn't clinical, he was still maybe making runs and that wouldn't make. Just little things.
Yeah. I mean, look, he's going to play for the 4 remaining games of the season. Whether I think he's a Chelsea starting striker, I don't think we can continue with him.
Yeah.
But we're relying on him fundamentally to power us into the top 4, and that's what doesn't fill me with confidence, despite the back-to-back wins. I haven't seen a lot within those that goes, wow, okay, yeah, we're with it, we're back, or we're playing to the same levels that we were pre-Christmas. I've seen none of that.
It's a stumble kind of wins, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, the Fulham one was the biggest smash and grab I've ever seen in my life, and then Everton, they were poor. We were very, very, in fairness to us, we were very, very good in the first half, probably the best we've played in a long, long time. But we can't put the chances away at the moment, and there's no way we can 1-0 it on those last 4 games. Like, just won't happen.
Yeah, I think think it'll be interesting though, like the Forest game. Forest, this will be the time where they're going to feel real pressure because most of the season, obviously, it's just kind of been Forest in third. Whereas now it's like, okay, they knew they had to win anyway, but now when they're like dropping down the table and just, it's always fluctuating, feel like put on different pressure. I did read though the other day about you guys that there's rumours now that the board's split on Mr. Maresca and that they want to potentially get rid after the Club World Cup or before. I can't remember. It was end of the season, but I'd read a report that apparently the boardroom split on him.
I've not heard that, but from everything that I've read, they seem to be pretty watertight on it because of that reason in regards to the Club World Cup. But maybe after that, they think again. Obviously, if we have a disaster in that, then they might think differently. But going back to, I think we were discussing it last week or the week before, weren't we? It's just you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't, because you can give them the Club World Cup as a pre-season, but it's a sort of end of season thing, and then you sack the manager after that, let someone else in, then they haven't got a pre-season, and then if you let Maresca stay, and then he fumbles it at the start of next year, which looks likely given our form, then you sack a manager, and then you have to either wait a whole season till you put a caretaker in there and waste another season.
Could do the United, couldn't you? Ten Hag like they did. That's what they did. Yeah, they should have sacked him in the summer. Maybe a bit different with you guys, but I feel like your fans have turned. So maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's no, you're not wrong. It's negative at the moment. There's no doubt about it. It really has turned, and it's turning quite negative. But let's see what happens in these last 4 games. But I'm not taking great confidence from those results and saying, wow, okay, we're definitely going to get in the top 4 or top 5. I still don't see it.
I know, I predicted it, but predicted you would. But I must admit, I'm not feeling very confident with that prediction at all. I didn't see you against Everton, I'm not going to lie. But I've seen some of the highlights from like the Fulham game and stuff like that. And obviously speaking with you and just hearing what it's like and seeing you a couple of times this season, even when I've watched the games with you, I think you beat Wolves, didn't you? And you beat another Southampton. But they were both games at home that literally you could have dropped points.
I mean, look. The one positive that you're clinging to, well, two is the recent results. In terms of those back-to-back wins, the second one is Lavia coming back and then being able to play all 3 of them. So Caicedo dropped into right back, Lavia went into the midfield with Enzo, and that's all of those times where we had that setup and that structure. Mm-hmm. We were winning games. That's when we were in our most form pre-Christmas. So if by some minor miracle that Lavia can stay fit for those 4 remaining games, which has never happened before, just maybe we'll have a chance. But
such a wasted talent, that guy.
No, he's so good. He's so good.
Yeah,
and he plays. He's brilliant. But
in the snippets I've seen, he managed to get a run as well at Southampton, didn't he? He seemed to obviously be a bit injury free. And I know he did still have a couple, but it wasn't like it is now. Like with you guys, it's very stop start, isn't it? And even the glimpses you see, you're like, this is a guy we've seen that hasn't had a run of games. He's coming in, he's coming out, and every time you see him, you think, as a player there, like he's really good. Imagine if he actually had the run.
Yeah. Well, exactly. Like he came in fitting in like a glove, like he never missed a game.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We will see. I think I'll have to stick with my prior prediction, even though I don't really believe it anymore. I'm going to say you're going to get top 5, mate. We're both going to have a season. We'll both be happy. Well, you'll be set.
Well, yeah. I think you'll be slightly happier than me, but yeah, I'll be delighted with Champions League football, to be fair.
Yeah, which is understandable. But yeah, that's probably a good place to leave it, mate. So appreciate you obviously taking time to jump on and discuss Liverpool's 20 Premier Leagues. 20 league titles. Shouldn't say Premier League. It'd be like the whole fiasco with you and Celtic fans all over again. 20 league titles. So yeah, now the biggest club in the land. So it's very nice. Thank you, Arne Slot. Thank you, Liverpool players, who will never hear this, but still, I'm very appreciative. But yeah, if you are listening to us on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like the video, all that good stuff. If you are listening to us on any audio podcast, share the podcast, leave us a good review. We'd appreciate that as well. Help get the podcast out there. But until next week, we'll be back then to discuss some more football. Cheers, guys. 20 times.